Finding the right breeder and finding the right dog, for me, is one of the most difficult things that I ever tried to do. So I'm going to show you how I'm looking at breeders and looking at rescues to try to understand how can we make a very mindful research to avoid any kind of health issues, behavior problems, and make sure that we buy from a very respectful and nice breeder. I want to make very, very clear that I am not a big fan of Kennel Club, but I will use them to do this research just because they talk a lot about the types of genetical testing or physical testing that you need to do with each breed, and that really helped me to understand a little bit more. So we're going to look into this part of the website that talks about finding a puppy or rescue. So I open here a research for Cavalier King's Charles Spaniels, and I put my location as well, and I looked into the locations around me and further away from me. And I'm going to just show you guys a few things. So when I'm looking at a breeder, what I'm looking at is the parents. With the parents, you're going to open it, and what I want to see is this animal being screened? And it has, and is unaffected. It was done also in 2023 when the animal was 1 year, 9 months. So why is this important? First of all, how long ago did it happen, and how old was the animal? Because sometimes they develop this later in life. So this is something that I'm gonna look at, and I know that they should be screening for other health issues as well. So they only have the eye scheme. And also I'm going to look at the number that tells us how inbred this animal is. And this really helps us to understand how the puppy going to be affected by genetic predispositions. So this is 2.2, and the average for this breed is 5.2. So this tells me that this one is below, which is really good. Now looking at the mum, we can see that there is 2 DNA tests. So not only physical tests like the eye scheme, but there is 2 DNA tests where the animal was completely clear from the gene, which is great. And then here you can see that the number is also 2.1, which is a great percentage since it's below 5.2. And now we're going to look at the puppy. So when you can open the puppy, you would also see the number, which is 1.3 for the puppy. So kind of lower than the parents. And this tells me that also there is less possibility that this animal going to carry a genetic disease. It can still happen. Not both parents were screened for the genetic issues, but then here at least we can see that the inbreeding is quite low. A few rescues that I'm looking at, and I'm going to tell you exactly what is my criteria. So the retired guide dogs is one that I have ready in the queue, but to be fair with you, most likely this isn't going to happen. There is too many people searching for dogs like that to adopt. And then we also have dogs that are being fostered in London. So this is the type of dog that I would also consider. So this rescue, All Dogs Matter, and also Pro Dogs Direct, they are fostered in places around London. So I would be considering as well some of those dogs. And also the Oldest Club, which I find a very good website where you can see all the dogs that you can adopt from all the rescues, but you can see them here. So for example, active oldies, and you can choose good with cats, good with kids, good with other dogs, special needs, blah, blah, blah. So there is loads of options, and those are all dogs older than I think 5 years. So here there is loads of options from several types of rescues and different types of dogs. So I also going to be considering this one. Now it's time to call them and ask a few important questions. How do they socialize their puppy, and what they socialize with? Where do they live, and what kind of contact does animal have with the outside world? Any behavior issues presented by the parents, so things like separation anxiety, aggression, and can I meet the mom before I commit with a puppy? When do they have more litters, and when they're gonna accept people wanting to buy those puppies, and if I can choose because of the temperament rather than colors and other features. And now we are getting to the end of our series, so we have one more episode about the routines that I'm building to prepare myself to this dog. So this is going to be our last episode. I hope this was helpful, and I see you very soon.